ESPN. We've got a Conference USA clash. Sam Houston on the road taking on Western Kentucky. It's a frigid 14 degrees in Bowling Green, Kentucky, but warm here in EA Diddle Arena as we get set for tip-off between two teams hungry for a victory tonight. With that, we say good evening. Jordan Kent alongside Sean Arrington. And Sean, Sam Houston is playing some of their best basketball of the year. They've won 2 straight games. Western Kentucky, on the other hand, even though the Hilltoppers have lost 3 straight, the offense really starting to come into form, and they feel very confident here at home.
Yeah, these are 2 teams that had high expectations coming into the season. They're really hoping to play some of their best basketball as we wind the season down and get ready for the conference tournament.
Let's go ahead and start with Lamar Wilkerson. For Sam Houston, he will really have to step up tonight for the Bearcats because they need every bit of his scoring. He's second in the conference in points per game.
Yeah, he's an absolute walking bucket. He's had 12 games where he's scored 20 or more. Look for Sam Houston to put him in a lot of situations where they're getting him in screens, whether it's ball screens, down screens, trying to free him up so he can get loose from the outside, where he's absolutely on fire from 3.
For Western Kentucky, Don McHenry has had to carry more of the scoring load this season, and the Hilltoppers need him tonight.
Yeah, and he's at his best when he's in attack mode, whether that's getting out in transition, fighting downhill to get into the lane, attacking, putting some pressure on the defense. He can knock down the 3 as well when he's open from beyond the arc.
Hank Plona, in his first year as head coach for Western Kentucky, spent the previous year on the staff as an assistant when they made the NCAA tournament. He's talked about pushing the pace, something that Western Kentucky has done better than most teams in the country this season. And for Sam Houston, Chris Mudge in his second season started as a graduate assistant underneath Rick Barnes at Texas. He's really emphasized the transition defense tonight as they try to get back and off their heels against the pace that Western Kentucky will certainly flex. Your gentlemen in the stripes this evening, Pat Adams, Vladimir Voyer-Tadal, and Gary Maxwell. And it's an interesting time of the year for both these teams here, Sean, because even though the record doesn't reflect how talented these rosters are, both teams have fought through injuries, through adversity, and this feels like a game that could really be a turning point as they start to prepare for the conference tournament.
And we mentioned both teams, high expectations coming into the season, top 3 in the preseason poll. Just been crushed with some injuries on both sides, but looking to play their best basketball as we get ready for conference tournament play. Both of these teams are capable of making a run. They want to get this momentum going into the tournament.
The floater early rattles out, offensive rebound. Blaze Cada scoops it up, and another possession. McHenry, corner 3, that's short. And 2 consecutive misses to get this one going. Now it's Sam Houston that looks to push the pace up top. How about that? Khalifa Sacco getting the party started early.
Great setup from Boykin. 5 assists on the year, showing why there. Puts it right at the rim for the finish.
Jalen Dorsey getting his first start of the year for Western Kentucky. It's the 17th different starting lineup for the Hilltoppers. That's the 2nd most in Division I basketball this year.
Yeah, that speaks to the injuries and just the inconsistency that this team's had to deal with all season long.
Shot clock winding down. Bayless has to just chuck it up. Rebound claimed by Hammonds. Sam Houston started the conference 1-10 this season. But they've found some consistency. This unit has started the last 7 games. They're 2-5 during that span, but they've won their last 2. We'll have more on their close finishes as Wilkerson curls, catches, misses, but then a foul as Cameron Hoofner was fighting for the offensive rebound.
So Wilkerson come off of that screen. It's going to be a big key to this ball game. Can Western Kentucky stay in his hip pocket? They don't want to give him much freedom and much room to shoot those 3s. He just missed that one that time.
First foul on Jalen Dorsey, and to that point, because that was a big emphasis that Hank Plona said during shoot-around, when you used to defend these shooters coming off screens during your heyday at Illinois, what did you have to remind yourself when you were really chasing around some of these threats?
Yeah, get in their pocket and stay in their pocket early. You can't get separation when you're off the ball. When you're off the ball, you got to get into the pocket and stay there and stay low behind those screens. Force those shooters to run off the 3. Make them put it on the deck and then trust your help defense on the curls.
Hoofner hits them both. McHenry has it stripped out of his hands. It'll be a Hilltopper ball on the baseline. That's the challenge for Western Kentucky. They play with such pace, but then how do you slow it down and find that correct shot in the half court?
Yeah, they want to get out and run. They feel like they haven't gotten out and run as much as they'd like this year. And right now in the half court, can you settle in? Can you get a good shot? Can you run your offense? Get multiple reversals of the floor. Get that ball going side to side.
Keita, the handoff. McHenry, Keita to the cup. And a strong finish.
There's ball and body movement. That was the third side of the floor. And then a good action into the down screen. Ball screen action. Keita able to dive to the rim. No protection there.
McHenry with the dime. You saw the gravity that he attracted as soon as he caught it. Sacco lobs it, and that's intercepted by Keita. Here come the Hilltoppers back the other way. Bayless, pull-up jumper, just rims out. Keita, strong rebound. But a hard fall, and Keita right now grabbing that left knee where he's got a brace on right now. Keita, who redshirted last year after recovering from an ankle injury. Looks sharp here.
Yeah, good action. Ball goes side to side. Then when you get McHenry coming off of a ball screen, 3 orange jerseys surround him. Leaves Keita wide open on the backside. Keita been active on the glass here in the early going as well.
So Keita will step out, and Leroy Odiaye will come into the game for his first run. And we have a foul on the floor. This one will be against Lamar Wilkerson. So he picks up his first less than 3 minutes into the game. And those are the fouls for both these teams you have to be careful of because you don't have a lot of depth.
Correct. Not much depth. When you start talking about leading scorer Wilkerson, you need him on the floor at all times. So he's got to be able to still play aggressive, but also be smart. Can't pick up a second one here early in this first half.
Ammons pokes it out of bounds. So Jalen Jackson and Western Kentucky will re-rack it. Bayless curling, dumps it back off to Jackson. Sam Houston switching the ball screen. McHenry trying to punish the gamble, and the house wins.
You can't gamble. You cannot gamble unless you know you're going to get, especially on McHenry. He's just too good of a scorer. Got to keep him in front of you. He takes advantage of it, knocks down the 3.
McHenry with a 3 and an assist on their other bucket. Western Kentucky takes that early 1-point lead. Sacco trying to get to Wilkerson. Well defended by Bayless. Wilkerson sees 2. Hoofner, and that's going to be a foul on Dorsey, his second already.
It's got to be solid on the defensive end. See, Hammonds gets taken out of the play. Henry makes him pay. Hoofner doing a good job. Shot fake, you know he's a shooter, so you're running out on the shooter, and then does just a good job of using his body, gets that defender on his hip, and the backside creates the foul.
So Dorsey heads to the bench. Inside, it's Marcus Boykin, who has been playing well lately. Can't get that one to drop. Boykin, 7 straight games in double figures. McHenry nearly traveled as he hit the brakes. Christian Lander checking in, normally a starter for Western Kentucky, number 4. But sat out practice the first 2 days this week, but ready to go here tonight. Tyrone Marshall dumps it off. McHenry running off of one leg, the 3, checks up on the heel, and Sam Houston will control. Quick shot on the other end for Sam Houston, and Josiah Hammonds cans it from the corner.
That's what he does. 75% of his shots are going to come from beyond the arc. You got to find them, especially in transition. Good job sprinting to the corner to spread the defense.
Odiaye nearly has it stripped, able to salvage the possession. McHenry curling, the southpaw shoots it, can't get it, tapped away, and a rebound to Boykin. Hoofner, he'll launch it, in and out. Rebound to Sacco. Wilkerson, another attempt from the corner, no good.
A couple good looks for Sam Houston in that possession. They'll take those kinds of shots, just not able to knock them down.
Enoch Halambe into the game now for Western Kentucky. Tough fadeaway, and last couple of possessions, some rush shots there for the Hilltoppers.
Good contest, right? Those are contested jumpers. Those are tough shots to take, especially early in the shot clock. You take those late in the shot clock. Early on, contested shot, you got to move that ball, get it going.
And what did Hank Plona say to us about long twos earlier today?
Long twos and ball and body movement. That's what he wants to see, ball and body movement, not shots maybe on that first pass.
Wilkerson whips it. Hoofner trying to get it to Sacco. Deflected. Western Kentucky forces the turnover. Lander, catch and fire. Lander drains it.
Nice shot from the outside. He's had 6 straight double-figure games. 9 multiple 3 games, so he can light it up from the outside. That's offense that they need.
Lander's averaged 24 points in the last 2 games. His dad played for Jack Harbaugh on the football team back in the day, so it runs in the family as far as the athletic tree goes. 5 to shoot. Boykin trying to shed a couple defenders, fading away, and a tough shot as Boykin buries it.
Yeah, tough shot. Good move going to the right over the defender. Good defense, better offense.
It's been a long stretch of ball here so far, nearly at the 14-minute mark without a stoppage. So that first win being tested by everybody on the floor. Boykin trying to use the Sacco screen, dumps it down low. Wilkerson pump fake. One more outlet pass. Hammonds, he'll try, in and out. Rebound to Odiayi.
And Sam Houston bench clapping. These are good looks. They're getting some good looks for their shooters, just not knocking them down right now. But you got to feel good where the ball's moving in the offense. The looks that they're getting from beyond the arc.
Heartbreaker on the rim for Marshall. He had a strong take, just couldn't drop it.
Marshall is capable of going for 20 plus any given night. Very talented scorer when he's in the rhythm.
Hoofner trying to get open. They'll go to Wilkerson in the post with Lander defending. Wilkerson fade away. It's short. Hilltoppers push it. McHenry, transition 3, too strong. And the longest consecutive stretch of basketball continues. Hoofner, his triple.
You're seeing some tired basketball.
I was going
right
to say,
now.
normally there's a media timeout at around the 16-minute mark. We are well past that. We might even flirt with the 12-minute media mark here.
Yeah, some shots are short right now. You see a whole...
There's some huffing and puffing, and nothing's going down right now.
Got a line change of guys ready to come in as well.
A much-needed whistle. Either side happy with that. Kalambe draws the foul. We'll step aside for the first time. Back and forth battle in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Sam Houston up 1. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by McDonald's. You're taking a look at the National Corvette Museum. The Bowling Green plant here has produced over 1 million Corvettes since 1981. Sean, so nice of you to lend some of your vehicle collection to the museum there, my good friend.
Just doing all I can for the beautiful town.
1-point lead for Sam Houston. Neither team lighting the nets on fire. Bearcats 3 of 10 from the field. Western Kentucky has already played 9 different players in this game. They are 3 of 12. We just had our first stoppage in the game. We'll have another one underneath the 12-minute mark, and much needed because we saw some tired legs. And we were just told that the last foul was on Josiah Hammonds. It'll be his first foul to clean things up, which means Enoch Kalambe will head to the line and transfer from Indian Hills Community College. Was an All-American after the 2022-23 season. And this front court for Western Kentucky of Kalambe, Odiayi, and Keita, that's been the key to their offense playing better over the last couple of games.
Athletic group right there that can get up and down the floor. Presents a little bit of difficulties matching up against them offensively. Empty trip there at the line. You mentioned the cold shooting. It continues at the free throw line. The team struggling to put ball in the basket right now. For Sam Houston, they've gotten some good looks from their good shooters. Just haven't been able to knock them down.
Late trap comes over. Second thought here for Brennan Burns. And a rare reload goes through. How many times do we see shooters sometimes think about it and then miss that second shot?
Yeah, that's usually when you think about it, get the ball moving, let it come back to you. And Burns only making 5 threes on the year. That's his 6th. But he felt confident stepping back into it.
Sam Houston now 2 for 6 from beyond the arc. Marshall, he's going to miss everything, circulates in there, and it'll be Bearcats ball as we take another stoppage on the court. But so far, Sam Houston, 4 buckets, 3 assists.
Yeah, trying to get hot from the outside. Hesitation? No problem. Buckets for Burns. They're up 4.
Four-point lead for Sam Houston as we continue play in Bowling Green, Kentucky. This Conference USA matchup as we take a look at the standings. Both these teams were picked to finish in the top half of the preseason poll, but they've been dealing with injuries and what has been a very competitive Conference USA. You look at how impressive Jacksonville State has been this year, undefeated at home. Liberty playing very well, and how about Kennesaw State? Also another tough out.
And both these teams missing some offense. Talked about those injuries. Guys trying to find their roles that weren't expected maybe have as many minutes as they are getting now. So both of these teams with those high expectations trying to play their best basketball as we close out conference play and going into the conference tournament.
And another bucket here for Sam Houston. And this offense really starting to find their rhythm as they're on a 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Western Kentucky, their last field goal came at the 14:51 mark. It was a Leander 3. Here is a missed 3 in the corner by Jack Evelyn, getting some early run. Foul on the floor.
Sam Houston getting the ball going side to side, and then the back cut for Wilkerson. Good find to Ford on the inside. Good job by Wilkerson, not forcing anything. Getting the easy one over the Ford.
The foul was on Cada. Jackson Ford. We finally get a chance to meet some of the reserves here for Sam Houston. Their starters played the first 7.5 minutes of this half. Wilkerson, though, it's been a slow start for him. 0 for 3. Trying to fight off a couple of defenders and buries his first floater.
He's just so tough. He can score from the 3, but they put in a lot of situations where he comes off the screens and he's moving towards the basket. That was the case that time. Momentum to the rim. Good finish.
Cada gets knocked to the floor on the other end, and it's another foul against Sam Houston.
This is the difficult matchup when you're going against Wilkerson. He's going to come off screens, down the hill. If you're trailing in his hip pocket, which you should be, forcing them off that 3, you got to rely on that defense to help on those curls. That time just a little late. Wilkerson had momentum going downhill. Nice body control on the runner.
Catch in the corner. McHenry thought about it for a moment. Cada trying to find some positioning down low. Lander, pump fake. Kick to the corner. 3-point attempt from Dorsey. Skips off the rim. And Wilkerson secures the board. The jumper is good for Jay, and so very efficient shooting right now for Sam Houston. As we said, 4 for their last 4 in the half court, and the Bearcats have built a 10-point lead here in the first half. So we'll step aside for 30 as Western Kentucky tries to retool the defense. The season headlines for Sam Houston, we mentioned the 10-16 record. They started conference play 1-10, but it's been their first 16-plus loss season in nearly 10 years. They do shoot the 3 very effectively at 38%. They lead the conference. Right now, they have found their rhythm on offense. It's been Western Kentucky at home. It has been just as cold as it is outside, and then a turnover, McHenry there with the travel.
Western Kentucky's just got to settle in here. It's the half court, whether it's a rush shot, contested shot. Turnover there, unforced. Who's going to take this team right now? Take control, make sure you get into a good possession.
And the thing is, with how well Sam Houston's been shooting the ball, it takes away any of the fast break opportunities that Western Kentucky's looking for.
Yeah, they're looking to run. They want to run more than they have. But you have to get stops or turnovers to make that happen. 11-0 run right now for Sam Houston.
Wilkerson, strong hedge off the screen. Saw 2, picked up the dribble, 8 to shoot. Boykin steps back into a 3, lets it rip. And McHenry will escort it down the floor. Hilltoppers just trying to shake off this slump at the moment. McHenry off the Cada screen. 12 to shoot. Stepping into it is Evelyn, who finally puts a stop to the bleeding.
That's not his game. He's normally a three-point shooter, so good job running him off the line. He shows he can use the shot fake, one dribble pull-up. An era where we talk about threes and layups. You got to have that mid-range game still in your arsenal.
Wilkerson with his last bucket. Trying to work one-on-one against Edelin. Help defender is eyeing it. Corner three, and it is buried. How about Eric Taylor stepping on the floor and some early dividends off the bench?
And this is a team, they can get hot from the outside. You mentioned 38% as a team. Taylor 36 as an individual. And again, Wilkerson, that nice skip across the court, finding the shooter.
And Edelin, the response on the other end. So Jack Edelin, 5 points here in the first half. We talked about it. Injuries have forced both these teams to go deep into their bench. You've already had 8 different scorers from Sam Houston. Taylor gets it poked away, but a late whistle. And the crowd here can't believe it. That's the 3rd foul on Dorsey.
How about Wilkerson? He's going to get all kinds of eyes and double teams, traps. Able to kick it to the shooter in the corner. Then Edelin with the answer. Corner three on the other side.
So Eric Taylor will head to the line. Freshman from Orlando, 3-time all-district selection at Edgewater High School. And then 1 season at the Rock School in Gainesville, which is known for producing Joel Embiid. We'll look at the foul here because a lot of folks here thought it was a clean block. That looks like all ball to me.
Almost a late call. Some of the body early on in the possession, and they didn't call it, so they kind of gave him the back half of the drive.
Or Taylor sold it well. Also, you saw him kind of flare up as if he got hit on the arm, but that looked like it was all ball. So the 3rd foul for Dorsey, and now it's 9 different scores for Sam Houston. Every single player that stepped on the floor has scored. Boykin, the steal. Boykin in transition. Tough scoop shot. And it's now back to a 10-point lead, make it 12-point lead for Sam Houston. Jackson, the drive, trying to knife through the lane, and he picks up the foul. The early shot making from Sam Houston has neutralized the pace for Western Kentucky as the Bearcats balling on the road here in Bowling Green. Sam Houston has gotten off to a terrific start here in the first half. Began this game 3 of 10. We mentioned it was 7.5 consecutive minutes of basketball. They finally brought some subs in. Since then, they're shooting 6 of 7 over the last 4.5 minutes and have completely taken control of this game here, Sean.
Yeah, 9 different scorers in the ball game right now, which is crazy. Midway through a first half.
McHenry rolls in the first free throw, and McHenry from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, then went to Hawaii Hilo. And I know you went from Illinois to Florida. That was a bit of a culture shock, but he mentioned how that was a really hard adjustment for him, going to the island, and helped him grow and develop as a man, and then would come back to Indian Hills Community College, and now has really found some stability here at Western Kentucky as the leader for the Hilltoppers this season. And there's been a lot more asked of him at this moment with so many starters and so many players injured right now. Right now, the officials are trying to figure out who should be shooting the free throws because McHenry hit the first one. But they're trying to determine who it was because I believe it was Jackson that was fouled and not McHenry on that last possession. That's a first. Don't see that too often. McHenry.
Yeah. And here's your drive.
And that would be a foul on Jackson. And so you go from McHenry, who's an 83% free throw shooter, to Jackson, who's a 63% free throw shooter. I do love the confidence of McHenry stepping up because McHenry knew that he was not fouled. But if they're going to give you the ball at the line, might as well.
There was a sub at that timeout, so Jackson wasn't even going to be in the ball game. So he's back to shoot the free throws now.
Like a lot of people, you're just doing a lot of paperwork this time of year to wrap things up. And so they'll get the correct player at the free throw line now. That's Jalen Jackson. Graduate player, came from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Part of a North Texas squad that upset Purdue in the first round. Jackson, one of the better defenders for Western Kentucky, threads the second free throw. But now defensively for the Hilltoppers, what needs to change for them? Because it feels like as we see the full court steal here by Edelin. The three just rolls out though. Chance to strike for Western Kentucky, no good.
Well, that's what you're looking for. Can you get a turnover and a run out? Good look for McHenry, just couldn't knock down the three. And now if you're on this end, you got to keep the ball out of the lane. It's too much getting downhill penetration. You see there.
Hoofner trying to put it back in, rolls out, scramble for the ball. Sacco scoops it up. Wilkerson launches a three. And ODI finally able to close out the possession. McHenry. Little spin move. McHenry, what a finish as he glides to the cup.
And that's when he's at his best. Attack mode, get to the rim. See the great move on the baseline to shake off the defender and finish at the rim. When he's aggressive, he's a completely different player. Don't settle for three, especially if they're not falling early on.
McHenry, 2 of 7 with 5 points and a little bit of juice here in EA Diddle Arena. Hammonds, his three. Hoofner, great positioning. And he draws the foul, and he was right there for that offensive rebound.
Yeah, great job doing his work early to get that offensive rebound. And McHenry, check out that move. Is that Jordan in the Garden against the Knicks?
That is shades of it. He didn't dunk it on Patrick Ewing right here, but still a Jordan-like finish.
This is a great offensive move. The hesitation, the blow-by, explosion to the rim. I like it.
Hoofner hits the first free throw. You know, we talked about his offensive rebounding, is 15th in the conference, and you always love to get that from your 6'8" forwards. Both free throws are good, and Hoofner just been a solid, stable presence. He's 4 of 4 from the line, and the lead is back into double figures here for Sam Houston. Just under 6:30 left to play in this first half. Hoofner, the deny, scoops up the loose rock, trying to call timeout. Officials don't give it to him. Jump ball, Sam Houston basketball. But you love the hustle and defense there.
Well, Sam Houston's getting out into the passing lanes right now, and they're denying, making it very difficult for Western Kentucky to make an entry pass. Hoofner getting out. You see that right arm extended. Great job running it down. A couple times we've seen that here in this first half.
So now it's been Sam Houston that's hit a bit of a cold spell. 0 for their last 4 after being 6 for their previous 7. Hammonds curling, catching, casting, and connecting. So a big three is the largest lead of the game for Sam Houston as they stretch it out to 14 points.
Just great action out of that set. This is a cross screen for Hoofner inside, so everybody flies at him, and then Hammonds has nobody on him. You set that good cross screen for your guard, get that big open, gotta help. You know you're gonna get an open look on the backside of it. Good job by Hammonds.
See, when I'm watching sports and I see 57, I'm thinking, oh, this is a great guard that's pulling for the running back here on this play. Rarely do you see shooting guards wearing such a, dare I say, hefty number on the perimeter there.
Old school, right?
I'm trying to think of all the 55s. Yeah, Jason Williams back in the day, I believe, for the Sacramento Kings that rocked 55.
Yeah. Well, now you don't have to be 5 and under,
no.
Right? You get the 7s and the 8s and the 9s.
There were a flood of 7s, 8s, and 9s this year in college basketball. Some 6s as well, too. And you can kiss those double figures goodbye. But no, not Josiah Hammonds. He embraces those big numbers. And so far, he's put up 6 points, leading scorer for Sam Houston. 15 to shoot for the Hilltoppers. Marshall driving, kicking. Jackson has to reset the offense with under 10 to shoot.
And the whole possession's been outside 3 right now. Not much attack.
Jackson, long 2. Analytics don't love it. Wilkerson scoots it down the floor. Wilkerson sees the double, dumps it off, up and under, and one as Sacco absorbs the contact.
I love what Wilkerson's doing right now. He's struggling a little bit shooting the basketball, but the double teams continue to come at him, so he's not forcing it. He's finding teammates. I believe that's his 5th assist of the game so far, so not scoring the basketball, but his presence is felt out there, drawing double teams, finding open teammates, getting everybody else involved.
Khalifa Sacco, the transfer from Utah State. The Aggies last year won the Mountain West Conference regular season title. And before that, he was the conference defensive player of the year in 21 and 22, but has found a new home in Sam Houston. His role has expanded and has a chance to build upon this lead. And it is now a 17-point advantage for Sam Houston. Not what many people expected here, especially in the first half.
No, game plan.
And a credit to Sam Houston, I must say, with that.
Exactly
they are
right.
executing their game plan perfectly.
Yeah, they're pressuring defensively. Look at these denials out here. Again, possession out on the perimeter. Not much going to the basket.
Queta blocked by Sacco. Sacco thought he got hit on the other end, but once again, another stop there for the Bearcats. Sacco catch flying towards the cup, and another foul. And right now, this Western Kentucky defense cannot seem to rotate in time.
Good ball and body movement from Sam Houston. Lots of good actions. Wilkerson continuing to find cutters, dives to the basket. Not an assist, but setting up his teammate for a trip to the line.
So the foul's on McHenry, his first, and Sacco will step up and attempt the first free throw. And you mentioned it, anytime they double the pick and roll, the rotations aren't there, and Sam Houston just a beat quicker. Well, 6 college basketball games highlight our ESPN schedule Saturday. It all starts at noon Eastern, but these are our featured matchups. How about number 5 Houston hosting number 8 Iowa State at 2 Eastern, followed by number 1 Auburn hosting Georgia. Then at 6 Eastern, number 17 Kentucky squares off against number 4 Alabama in a sonic blockbuster. And Alabama obviously running into a Missouri buzzsaw, which I learned today that Missouri is a natural rival of Illinois as we check out the Big 12 standings. It's been a lot of movement. Houston's been solid. Arizona's been terrific in conference play, but there are Iowa State and Texas Tech hot on their heels as the 3 for Dorsey's off target. Burns the dump off. Hammonds tries to go up and under, wrong way through the cylinder. Rebound claimed by Queta. Western Kentucky just trying to get some momentum here with 4.5 left in the half. And the Hilltoppers continuing to struggle from 3. And now we've got a foul. Let's see who they call it on. That's going to be against Western Kentucky. And that's going to be the 4th foul already on Jalen Dorsey.
He got his first start of the year and picking up 4 fouls here in this first half. Just got caught tangled up under the basket.
That's a tough call there, but he's coming from behind.
Yeah, he's on the back on the back of Ford. It's a disastrous first half here for Western Kentucky. They have to find a way to get some momentum here going into the half. And when you're down 18, feels like every play has to be a huge play. And right now, they just got to find a way to get momentum, chip away at it, get some stops on the defensive end, and try to get some runouts.
Listen, I was not the greatest free throw shooter in college. Jackson Ford at 37% on the year. Hits the first free throw. Sinks the second. It's been that kind of half for Sam Houston. They are shooting the ball well. It's now an 11-0 run for the Bearcats. It's their second 11-0 run of the game.
That's usually going to be a successful half. Put 2 runs like that together, and just all out of sorts right now for Western Kentucky. Even when they get to the basket, taking care of the basketball.
Here's Bayless and just the quick hands as we saw.
Yeah, good job by Ford reaching in there, knocking away at the last second.
It's just the 4th turnover for Western Kentucky, so they've done a good job of hanging on to the ball. The difference in this one, plus 12 on the boards for Sam Houston. They've got 5 offensive rebounds as well, too.
Yeah. And the shooting percentages, right? They're just really struggling to shoot the basketball right now.
Sacco called for over the back. That's his first foul, and so that'll bring it back to the other end. But right now, a 20-point lead for Sam Houston. How about Lamar Wilkerson setting his teammates up all throughout the first half here, Sean?
Yeah, and all eyes are on Wilkerson on the defensive end. They're looking to double, trap, get the ball out of his hands. So he has done a really good job of finding teammates wide open, getting the basketball right where they can score. 9 different scores right now for Sam Houston. Really good job of Wilkerson distributing the basketball with those 5 assists.
He's got 6 rebounds and 2 points, so early, very early triple-double watch. You have a feeling the points will come, but continues to assist at a high rate. Another deflection from Sam Houston, and then an aggressive dive on the other end. No whistle. Burns wrapped up, ripped away. And the crowd wanted a foul because rarely do you see someone not get whistled when they dive for the ball at the legs of the player. Here it is.
Well, again, getting into the passing lanes. Taylor now forcing the turnover. And right now, Sam Houston's just a more aggressive team. They're playing with more energy. They're playing quicker.
Hoofner, 3, good look, can't connect. Who is going to step up for Western Kentucky? Kalambe. Crashing towards the cup, picks up the foul, and more opportunities like that slow down the game to get some easy scoring opportunities.
And now you got to take advantage of here at the free throw line. Only 1 of 4 from the line for Western Kentucky.
First foul on Eric Taylor. It's now the 7th team foul, so both teams in the bonus as Kalambe will step to the line and hits the first. Well, here's our NBA Friday doubleheader. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks will be in Cleveland taking on Donovan Mitchell in the Eastern Conference, leading Cavs at 7 Eastern. Then it's off to H-Town for Jalen Green and the Rockets hosting Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 6:30 Eastern. How about the turnaround the Rockets have had this season? Many people thought they were in rebuild mode the last couple of years, but solidly in the playoff chase right now. Burns a pass out of bounds, and that's a turnover for Sam Houston. And here it is, brick by brick, an opportunity for the Hilltoppers to build upon things.
Yeah, and they have to get momentum on their side here going to the half. Looking at an 18-point deficit, just over 3 minutes to go. You'd feel really good if you could get this down close to 10 to your Western Kentucky.
Bayless, the drive, saves the turnover. Bayless thought about it, dishes it off. Marshall outside, Kalambe, one more dish. How about Edelin in the corner? Good luck, just can't find the bottom of the net.
And they got the player that's made a couple jumpers from the outside. He's putting some pressure on the defense. Edelin's playing well, just couldn't hit that one from the corner.
Hoofner pump fake, bothered as he goes up. Another stop for the Hilltoppers, and they will push the horsepower. You see the active hands from Sam Houston. They're getting their hands on the leather quite a bit, and tough shot there from Kalambe.
Yeah, and it looked like an easy possession. Maybe you're going to get a run out, easy basket. You mentioned great transition. They build out, and it forces a tough 3. So instead of a layup, you're taking the 3, not the possession you want.
And that was what Hank Plona was talking about. If we don't have it at first, let's see the ball move around a little bit more. Don't just go 1 or 2 passes and then force the tough shot. And there's still a lot of time left in this game. And you have to credit Sam Houston. They're shooting the ball really well. For Western Kentucky, you're 6 of 25. Eventually, you'll start shooting better. But you got to find those good shots, I imagine.
The ball and body movement. Haven't seen much of that in the early going here for Western Kentucky.
Deflected out of bounds by Jackson. 12 to shoot. 2:16 left here in the first half. Sam Houston led by as many as 20. They've had a pair of 11-0 runs. They're coming into this game winning 2 straight after starting 1-10 in conference play. Starting to play some of their better ball of the year. Boykin gallops, gets the angle, and a smooch off the window.
He just played under control that entire possession. Good job using the ball screen, get the defender on his hip, and then didn't speed up at the end. Took his time on the finish.
Kalambe raises the rim, and now it's just the three-point shooting woes continue.
And they're feeling the pressure like they have to make a huge play every play instead of a simple play. Look for a good shot.
0 for their last 7 are Western Kentucky. Boykin patient, spinning backwards. That shot will roll out. Good box out by Kalambe. Jackson in transition. McHenry currently on the bench, leading scorer. Here's Bayless. He'll cast a triple, and he knocks it down. So timeout called by Sam Houston, and Chris Mudge just wants to regather the troops and make sure they've got plenty of juice here for the final minute 24 of the first half.
Yeah, Western Kentucky looking for a spark, and Bayless knocks it down. He's shooting 48% from 3, confident from beyond the arc, averaging 11 points a game over his last 6. So if somebody can get him going, it could be Bayless on that offensive end.
Now, if you're Western Kentucky, 2 stops, 2 buckets could go a long way, and you see the scoring that has really been improved over the last couple of games in Western Kentucky, but tonight just 21 points on 26% shooting.
Yeah, the shooting percentage has been the big key to this ball game, not shooting it well, and it's been questionable shots. They have to take good shots on the offensive end. Too many forced threes, too many quick threes. Talking about ball and body movement with this team. We just haven't seen it here in this first half. But now can you close out the half here? So 17. You do this drill in practice all the time. You try to get a stop, a score, and a stop to close out halves. That's what they're going to have to do here. Try to get momentum on their side.
Hoefner eyeing the help defense. Ball gets poked away. Boykin racing to the baseline. Taylor, 7 to shoot. Marshall switched out on him. Taylor, 3 to shoot, has to launch a long 3. And how about Sam Houston lighting the nets on fire tonight?
Yeah, just a back-breaking 3 right there from Taylor. And he did a really good job not panicking. He had the ball with about 5 seconds left, didn't force it, got it off of a handoff, and then knocks down the late 3.
Just a backbreaker. You felt Western Kentucky was getting some momentum as Bayless gets the bank shot there. And then a foul by Edlin, and that's going to send Sam Houston and Boykin to the free throw line, and a foul nearly 90 feet away from the basket. First foul on Edlin.
Taylor, again, not panicking. Had the ball earlier in that possession, about 5-6 seconds. He was covered up. Get it to the big, step back behind that handoff, knocks down a huge 3.
How about Taylor coming off the bench, leading Sam Houston in scoring? He's got 8 points, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc, along with 2 free throws. As Boykin, as you see, this is what they do. They live at the free throw line. Boykin hits the first. They've already made 11 free throws to just 3 makes for Western Kentucky. You see well beyond the pace of their average for made free throws per game, and now looks like they're just gonna have a little composure check with Seiko as Boykin goes over and demonstrates a little leadership.
You got everything on your side right now. Momentum, play the perfect half here. Make sure you're all locked in, focused for this last 26 seconds.
So 5 points in the last 2 possessions for Sam Houston. And this is what they've been able to do any single time Western Kentucky has showed a little bit of life. The Bearcats have been right there to respond. So 26.7 seconds remaining. Obviously, Western Kentucky, you hold for the last shot.
Yeah, you have to. You want to make sure that this is as large as the lead is. You want to cut into it. Try to get anything you can going into the half. There hasn't been much on the offensive end. Something towards the basket. Bayless being able to get to the basket off of some ball screens.
The handoff to Jackson. Jackson gets a pair of screens. 4 to shoot. Jackson dribbling, fading away, lets it fly, and knocks it down. So Western Kentucky gets a bucket at the horn, but it's been too much Bearcat basketball as Sam Houston leads by 18.
Yeah, impressive first half for Sam Houston. Exactly what you want to do, executing the game plan to perfection, getting out defensively, being aggressive in passing lanes, and then running offense, getting multiple people involved, 9 different scores. Very balanced attack.
Halftime here in Bowling Green, Sam Houston, efficient shooting. They build an 18-point advantage, looking to make it 3 straight wins in conference play. The Hilltoppers, a lot to talk about as they try to mount a comeback. We'll have more second half action coming your way after halftime. Well, welcome back to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Halftime just getting set to conclude. Sam Houston with the 18-point lead over the home team Hilltoppers. An impressive first half of the Bearcats. With that, we say welcome back. Jordan Kent alongside Sean Harrington. And this is why we love college basketball. You can never predict it. Sam Houston getting the job done by just simply out-executing Western Kentucky on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they've been playing harder. They've been more aggressive. Defensively, done a terrific job getting in the passing lanes, making Western Kentucky play out on the perimeter, and then a balanced scoring attack in that first half. Everything was going right for Sam Houston.
Eric Taylor coming off the bench and giving 8 efficient points for Sam Houston really set the tone for their depth that was on display.
Yeah, 9 different scores, and Taylor leading the way. He was perfect from the field, knocking down a couple of threes, 2 for 2 from the line as well, giving them a great boost off of the bench and the scoring column. And then Marcus Boykins doing what he's been doing. He's had 7 straight games of double figures now. He's a good defender getting into the passing lane, then uses that body so well when he gets downhill and finishing around the basket.
What's surprising is Sam Houston has dealt with a lot of injuries this year and a lot of adversity. This is a really good basketball team coming into this season. They've had to work through their lineup changes. They haven't been great on the road this season. Western Kentucky, historically great at home. So the fact that Sam Houston is doing this on the road speaks volumes about the way they've started to turn their season around here, Sean. They've won their last 2 games. The shots are starting to fall. The defense is tightening up. And now for Western Kentucky, the question is, where do they find some consistent offense here in the second half?
Well, and it's confidence. Sam Houston's playing with confidence. Western Kentucky's not playing with confidence. So really important here in these first couple minutes, if you're Western Kentucky, get a good look at the rim. And again, that's a good set out of the break. Screen-to-screener action. You get McHenry coming down off of a screen, just not able to make a 3. Just out on the perimeter, 17 of the 29 shots in the first half were 3s. And they were contested 3s for majority of those. So got to find a way to get some better looks on the offensive end.
The lob as Sacco was in between a lay-in or a dunk right there.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the handle on it on that lob.
Not a bad problem to have, by the way, to have those options while you're midair. Edelin gets the second half start, and that gets beat off the glass as Sacco right there to clean it up. Remember, it was Jalen Dorsey that started this game, number 22, and he picked up 4 fouls in the first half for Western Kentucky. Sam Houston and Boykin, his jumper no good. Jackson claims the rebound. Up ahead, McHenry, little hesitation dribble. Hammonds, excellent on-ball defense. Holds him off.
And that's what you want for Western Kentucky. Get a stop, get a run out. You have it in your playmaker's hands in the open floor. Gets to the basket. Good defense from Hammonds, just not able to finish on the break.
Well, Sam Houston head coach Chris Mudge said transition defense, and it showed in the first half. Just 2 fast break points for Western Kentucky. Here comes the double. Boykin, plenty of time, lines up the 3, skips off the rim. Adeline patiently brings it down the floor. Blaze Cada had 2 early buckets for Western Kentucky, then had to sit out with a bit of a issue with his knee. Back on the floor, offensive rebound, put back in by Bayless.
Great job working his way in from the opposite corner when that 3 went up. Didn't give up on the play, ball gets tipped. Falls in the Bayless hands.
Edlin getting a little too aggressive, and he's got to be mindful. That's his 2nd foul.
Three goes up from the corner, and Bayless comes from the opposite corner. Doesn't get the first tip, but because of the effort and the hustle, getting to the right spot, ball finds his hands, able to finish.
Now, I know when you played for the Fighting Illini, there weren't too many times that you were down 20, but in those situations where you're down double digits, how did you mentally approach trying to chunk your way back into the game?
And you got to win each 4-minute segment, and it starts with trying to draw something up out of the half. They get you an easy bucket, maybe even we'd like to draw up a lob or a dunk somehow if you can to get that energy, get those juices flowing, get momentum on your side, and got to get stops obviously as well. And Western Kentucky has gotten stops here to start this second half. Now they got to execute on the offensive end so they can chip into that lead.
It's the third foul on Boykin, so keep that in mind. He's been one of the primary playmakers as Boykin with the 8 points and assist. And you mentioned winning the first 4 minutes. It's Western Kentucky that so far has a bit of an advantage in the first 2.5 minutes of this half. 2-0, but they'll take it. Keita kind of caught in no man's land, had to shot put it up. But there is Bayless, and we had a collision as two players go down. Noggin to noggin as Wilkerson took a shot and then left some change in the couch at the rim. So it's gotten a little helter-skelter here to begin the second half. Hoofner nearly dislodged Bayless, no whistle. Officials letting him play. Hammonds tries to get to the corner. Poked away by Jackson, 8 to shoot for the Bearcats.
Wilkerson's still trying to shake it off a little bit. Two guys collide. He took
Looked more shoulder than head.
Shoulder.
Yeah, thank goodness. Either way, not comfortable. You saw McHenry diving for it. Hammonds with numbers, pull-up jumper, short off the rim. Hoofner, offensive rebound. Wilkerson, a punishing three-pointer on the offensive rebound.
Best time to shoot a three is off of the offensive rebound. Why? Because usually the ball's coming to you and you're stepping into the shot.
Jackson tries to go high off the window. Keita rips it down. Keita fighting to put it back in. Gets the bucket and the foul. Second foul on Sacco. How about Wilkerson? Clearly not bothered from that collision.
Yeah, it didn't shoot the ball well in the first half, but here gets a wide open look. Stepping into the three is the best way to shoot a three. And then if you're Western Kentucky, you're going to find some sort of energy, emotion, aggressive plays. A couple offensive rebounds here in this second half. See if that spurs the offense a little bit.
Keita gets the three-point play, so they match the three from Wilkerson. But going back to Hoofner, those are the winning plays that Chris Mudge had talked about. This is the Sam Houston team. 6 games decided by 2 possessions so far this season in conference play. Offensive rebound, kick out to a three. Those are the small micro plays within a game that can lead to those differences. Now it's Wilkerson tied up, tripped up. And a foul against Western Kentucky, and that's going to be whistled against Jalen Jackson, his first. It does feel like Western Kentucky has come out a little bit more aggressive in the second half. They are matching the fire that we saw from Sam Houston in the first half.
Yeah, Sam Houston had much more energy, much more pace to their game in the first half. More even here in this second half. That's what you have to have if you're Western Kentucky if you want to try to climb back into this one.
Burns blocked. Keita sent it out of orbit. Now a chance for the Hilltoppers to race back down the floor. McHenry bottled up. Sees three, somehow slips through. Keita keeps it alive. Evelyn thought about it. Back pass. Here's Bayless for three. And then a foul on the floor as Keita was fighting for positioning. They'll get Sacco. That'll be his third foul in Western Kentucky. Hopes of a comeback. The embers starting to warm up for that thought. We go back in time for Black History always, and the Final Four team that lost in double overtime to Villanova in the national semifinal, the 1970-71 Western Kentucky Hilltopper team. It was the first non-historically black Kentucky college to start 5 African-American players: Jim McDaniels, Jim Rose, Clarence Glover, Jerry Dunn, and Rex Bailey. They were coached by John Oldham, who, as athletic director, hired the first black head coach at Western Kentucky, Clem Haskins. Haskins and teammate Dwight Smith were the first black players ever at Western Kentucky. So some very rich history, and that was one of the first things a kind gentleman said to me. I told him it's my first time here, and Bowling Green, he said there's a lot of history in this building, and they certainly appreciate the foundation that was laid. McHenry can't get anything quite going here in the second half, and he's had some clean looks. Hoofner, transition three, doesn't even touch the rim. And another response from Sam Houston right as Western Kentucky was threatening.
Hoofner is a tough matchup because he can go inside. We saw the offensive rebound, but he can stretch the floor and knock it down from three as well. So you gotta get out there and guard him 38% from beyond the arc.
Hoofner now 7 points, 8 rebounds. Bayless driving into traffic, kicks it back out. Edelin, clean, look and catch. And his three, a much needed response.
Good offense that time. Penetrate and kick to a three-point shooter. Edelin wide open, different than a contested three.
Still.
Western Kentucky got stops early in this half, and now they haven't. So that's why they haven't been able to chip in this lead as much as you would like.
Well, the other thing is no Christian Lander. We haven't seen him much out there, just one made three. Remember, he was averaging 24 points a game. But how about Hoofner? Knocked to the canvas, hits the three, and picks up the foul. He is dominating this second half of basketball. First foul on Bayless.
Talk about difficult matchup. That's your 4-5 man running the floor to the corner in transition, and then he goes to the opposite corner. You got to close out on him because he is 38% from beyond the arc. Chance for the 4-point play opportunity.
How about Hoofner? Just a well-built cat right there. 6'8", 230, runs the floor, rebounds, can assist, gets to the corner. Smooth-looking jumper as well, too. So Hoofner, the 4-point play. And the lead is back to 20 for Sam Houston, and then McHenry got it poked away, and that'll be 18 to work with on the baseline, still plenty of time. Not to mention Wilkerson for Sam Houston in the midst of a career-high 6 assists for him. McHenry right now just struggling a little bit with his balance here on offense.
Sam Houston really applying pressure out on the perimeter game. We saw a lot of that in the first half. Not as much in the second half. His possession has definitely been ramped up.
McHenry has to fire a desperation three with the shot clock winding down, and a lot of that energy and buzz that was starting to build here in the building is completely faded away as Wilkerson surgically gets to the free throw line for the jumper. And it's the largest lead of the game for Sam Houston at 22.
Watch Taylor just applying that pressure to McHenry on the defensive end. Here he is.
Western Kentucky has not lost at home by more than 15 points since December 28 back in 2019. That was against Belmont. They lost by 17. So Sam Houston in the middle of some near-term history. Edelin, three, and another one.
You like the activity on the offensive board if you're Western Kentucky. They have dominated the glass here in the second half. Get a second chance opportunity because of that offensive rebound, able to knock down the three.
Western Kentucky 11-7 advantage on the boards. Oh! How about Check Jai right there to close the lid.
Big time finish around the rim. Everybody runs at Wilkerson. It's wide open at the rim for the flush.
Keita too strong on the hook shot. Jai with the box out. Burns will control it and slow it down. Burns trying to change gears, this time up top, one more. Was trying to connect with Jai for another dunk, but miscalculated the toss.
Wilkes gets into the lane, all the eyes are on him, and guy isn't able to finish at the basket. Nice flush. He's enjoying it.
And it's so hard for Western Kentucky because Jackson gets beat on the screen, calls for help, and that is Jai's guy, Keita, that goes to challenge the shot. There's no one to box out Jai. Fading away and picking up the foul is Tyrone Marshall, the mid-air adjustment. Fouls on Jackson Ford, his first, and so Marshall will head to the line. Try and tack on one more.
Marshall will get into the lane. He can score the basketball as good as anybody when he gets going. Western Kentucky's going to make a run. He's one of those guys that can get hot. He can put up 20 in a ball game. Had 11 double-figure games already this year.
Marshall adds a little tip to the bill. So lead is at 18 for Sam Houston, led by as many as 22. And Western Kentucky will chip away with a couple of buckets here or there, but the Bearcats have always seemed to have big-time response. Wilkerson sprinting to the corner. They switch. Marshall checking him. Wilkerson trying to go one-on-one. Here's Taylor in the corner, and Wilkerson putting it on a platter for his teammates right now.
He's just dancing all over the floor, making everybody guard him, finding wide open guys. Mention Marshall. He can get hot. He's one of those players capable of scoring. He can get them in bunches.
It was a bit of a rock fight between both teams to start this second half, and now the buckets are flowing as they trade threes. Boykin trying to work with the screen from Jai. Boykin through traffic, somehow fought through the forest and gets the lay-in.
He's only 6'1", but he is strong. And when he gets into the lane, he does a really good job keeping his defender on his hip.
Here's Marshall, another three, rims out. And Jai with the board. Just over 11 minutes left in this game. Sam Houston trying to make it 3 straight wins in conference play after a 1-10 start. Western Kentucky, they've dropped 3 consecutive games. Wilkerson, long 3. Nice box out and numbers here for the Hilltoppers as they try to just find something easy. Step back 3, no good for Bayless. Wilkerson working against Bayless, up and under, blocked, and they're going to call that a goaltend. The question is, did Odiaye get there before the ball got to the rim or glass? The thing is, the officials can always call goaltend to review later, but right now it's Wilkerson in the half court that is seeing all the help defense and making life easy for his teammates.
Yeah, just doing a great job, putting all kinds of pressure on the D, kicking it over to the corner. Another 3 off a Wilkerson assist.
I'm excited for March here just around the corner, I'll tell you that much, as you see a lot of depth throughout the Big 12, the SEC having arguably its greatest year ever as far as just depth in that conference. And then you wonder who's going to wear the glass slipper this year. And you see some teams that are really starting to turn the corner at the end of the year. And within Conference USA, the way that Sam Houston is playing tonight, there's a lot of teams that do not want to face them in the conference tournament here.
No, and that's the fun part about the conference tournaments is it's 3 games, it's 3 days. You can get hot, you can get on a streak, you can shoot the ball well, and you can make a run over a weekend. This is a team right now that believes that they can play with anybody in this conference.
Hammonds gets the handoff. Hammonds fading away at the free throw line. Ball gets tapped around. Sam Houston keeps it alive. Here's Burns. Excellent from beyond the arc.
How about that? 5 of 14 from beyond the arc coming into this game. He's got a couple of them here already this evening. And again, second chance point off an offensive rebound.
So now at 25 points. It is the largest lead in this game. The foul is on Hammonds. But the offensive rebounding, you pointed out, second chance points, just 12 of them, but they've been big points.
Burns does a good job getting those feet underneath him.
Bearcats 5 of 8 from 3. It's Cada taking more contact, getting the bucket. So the bigs have really stepped up here in the second half for Western Kentucky. You're matching 2s to 3s right now. Fouls on Jai.
Cade has been a good spark for Western Kentucky here in this second half. Offensive boards, scoring around the rim, block shot. He's been aggressive. He's brought some energy. Right now, it's all about the defensive end for Western Kentucky. They have to find a way to slow down Sam Houston.
Every coach loves a well-executed baseline out of bounds play, right? We always see them working on both ends during walkthroughs, and that one to perfection, but Keita can't convert on the free throw. Here comes the double team, a little bit more backcourt pressure. Taylor is the safety valve. Tries to get it to Burns. McHenry steps right in the middle, and McHenry will sky to the cup for an easy two.
Full court pressure, a run and jump.
Kentucky will go deep on their bench, so they do have the energy. Here's the three. It's off target, scooped up by Bayless. So now 4 straight points for Western Kentucky. McHenry, the pump fake, tries to draw the contact, no whistle. Burns sprinting into the paint, dumps it off. Ford, the floater, and the feathery touch.
It's a really good touch and finish by Ford. He made it look easy. That's a difficult play. You're running full speed.
McHenry thought he got fouled as he was elevating for the three, and so it's been a tough shooting night for him. Now 3 of 15, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc.
Henry does best when he's getting downhill. When you're down 20 most of the game, you feel like you got to shoot them threes to get back into it. He just hasn't had any good looks.
That's Sacco that was trying to carve out some prime positioning. They're going to get him for the foul.
I think they're going to call maybe 3 seconds.
Oh, 3 seconds,
maybe a 3-second violation.
Okay.
Camping out in there a little bit too long. You don't see it called off, but I think he was in there the entire possession. In the lane now.
That was a quick one. I mean, it was 3 seconds, but we all know that 3-second violations are typically 6 or 7 seconds in the paint, it feels like. Either way, Western Kentucky will take that turnover. And then Bayless nearly getting hung up, falls to the floor, trying to keep it alive is Marshall off the thigh of Wilkerson. He's able to deflect it off the Bearcat. It'll be Western Kentucky ball with 19 to shoot on the baseline. A lot of just kind of chippy physical play back and forth, nothing egregious. Just some bumping and shuffling, and officials right now trying to clean it out because you see Jackson and Taylor trying to get some positioning. The official's going to step in and tell them to kind of clean things up here. Taylor with 11 points, has a lot of confidence flowing momentarily. Get to go with the deep inbounds pass here to Marshall. 10 to shoot for Jackson. Jackson working off the screen. Bayless, Keita down low, fouled again, and Keita, how many times have we seen him get the bucket while taking the foul? First foul on Hoofner. Timeout on the floor, but it's been the Bearcats and their long-distance connection.
Yeah, Western Kentucky trying to make a run, but the hot shooting from the outside from Sam Houston, knocking down threes, 5 of them here in the second half.
And this is what we're working with here tonight. Sam Houston, 0-7 in Conference USA road games this season. Western Kentucky, they've been 23-5 at home the last 2 years, but right now it's the Bearcats up 21 on the road. Western Kentucky, their last home loss by 20-plus points nearly 8 years ago, February 16th, 2017 against Middle Tennessee.
And just a terrific performance to this point from Sam Houston. Executing the game plan defensively. They've been aggressive. They forced a lot of threes for Western Kentucky. A lot of pressure on the perimeter, making Western Kentucky run their offense far away from the basket. And offensively, it's been a balanced attack. 9 different scores. Shooting it well from 3. Dominating on the glass.
Every player that's been on the floor for Sam Houston has at least 4 points. Tells you a lot of what their combined contributions have been. Burns right now. Hoofner curling. Hoofner's been sensational in the second half. Can't get that one. Keita now 1 rebound away from a double-double. Corner look. Here's Marshall. Knocks it down. Lead is now under 20. Here comes some of that run and trap that we've been seeing here.
That's what comes down now. Sam Houston just has to handle the pressure. Western Kentucky's going to try to turn them over. You got to handle that pressure in the backcourt, get into your offense, and run good action here.
Hoofner, size advantage down low, loses the handle, out of bounds. Western Kentucky ball. With under 7 minutes left, if you're Sam Houston, do you start thinking about chewing any clock whatsoever, as it looks like the Bearcats are going to call a 30-second timeout here. And a chance to kind of refocus the team here, because with 6:58, a lot could still happen. Bearcats in control, but Western Kentucky starting to find some rhythm. Let's head around Conference USA. How about Liberty? 58% effective field goal percentage. The Flames lighting it up on offense. 3rd in Division I. And then UTEP leading all of college basketball, nearly 11 steals per game. The Miners finding some gold on defense. And then Jacksonville State, they've been a tough out at home. In fact, untouchable at home, 11-0. And then Adrian Woolley for Kennesaw State. Not 1, not 2, but 9-time Freshman of the Week in Conference USA. We get set for the conference tournament in a handful of weeks. Should be a lot of excitement. And here's Keita down low, a couple of pump fakes, gets them to bite, but whistled for the trap.
He did. He had the happy feet down on the baseline there. Just one too many shot fakes. You like the energy and activity that he's brought here in this second half.
Wilkerson somewhat snuck behind the defense, and he will scoop down the floor and reset the offense here. We mentioned 9 players with at least 2 field goals for Sam Houston. Nobody with 5 field goals. Some equal eating across the board for the Bearcats. Boykin trying to toss it up to Sacco. Sacco has it ripped away, and he is fouled as Keita was trying to force the turnover. So Keita picks up a foul, just his 2nd. And that's the 5th team foul against Western Kentucky. Really impressed so far from Sam Houston, just their ability to make the right play in the half court. It sounds cliche to say, but they're not really forcing too much.
No, they haven't. They've done a really good job running their offense, and you just mentioned the equal distribution of shot selection, so everybody's getting involved. Lots of guys touching the basketball, lots of guys taking shots. 9 different guys scored. 9 different players have scored at least 2 baskets.
The 3rd foul on Tyrone Marshall. Wilkerson curling, fading away. Wilkerson no good. Marshall with the board. Edlin, the pitter-patter dribble, floater, dies at the rim. Wilkerson down the floor. Taylor stepped out of bounds, and so that'll be a turnover. Western Kentucky ball. And for Sam Houston, obviously at 10-16, not the type of season they were hoping for, but it's much better and almost more refreshing to be playing your best basketball at this point of the season rather than having it be front-loaded.
Yeah, and you're getting ready for conference tournament play. And this is a team that really believes that they can win their conference tournament. And that's the goal for each of these teams. Win your conference tournament, get to the NCAA tournament, get some momentum here on your side. 2 wins in a row. They played well. Dominating performance on the road up until this point.
Bayless, and it's been that kind of night for Western Kentucky. Good looks, and they just can't quite cash in. So right now, 19 of 60, shooting 32% from the field, as we see Bayless trying to chase it down. He crashes into the scorer's table here. Knocked down the radio for the Sam Houston Bearcats. Their microphone knocked it down momentarily. Here's Taylor driving up and under, whips a pass out. Wilkerson for 3. Beautiful basketball from the Bearcats as Wilkerson cans the triple.
28, 29 seconds off the shot clock and knock down a three. That's a textbook offensive possession when you're playing with the lead on the road.
Marshall skates to the rim for the lay-in. And Taylor just gets right behind the press, and so far they've been able to do that a couple of times to beat this pressure. And now this is when you imagine Sam Houston will be a little bit more methodical.
Take care of the basketball. You don't want early turnovers in the shot clock.
Boykin will bring it back out, 7 to shoot. Want to clear things out for a two-man game. Boykin curling up with the left. Marshall will push it. Marshall cross-court fine. Edelin had to fumble the ball a little bit. Couldn't get the three off. Jackson, he'll tee one up, and it swirls in. So 15-point lead for Sam Houston. The timeout on the floor, but we have seen such a fine display of ball movement and teamwork here from Sam Houston tonight.
You have the lead late in the second half. You want to take a lot of the clock. About 28 seconds off the shot clock, and then a three-pointer from the corner. Great look from Taylor to Wilkerson.
Lamar Wilkerson, nearing a triple-double, has just under 4 minutes remaining. He had 6 assists in the first half and hasn't needed to do as much playmaking here in the second.
Just great numbers all around. He's the focus of every scouting report. He's #1 on the list. How are we going to stop Lamar Wilkerson? And a lot of times you're seeing double teams, you're seeing traps. Everything's been thrown at him this year. Fresh bodies every possession. Did a really good job today of getting his teammates involved in that first half. You mentioned 6 assists early on. Got everybody going, and it's been a balanced attack, but impressive numbers for him. Eyeing a triple-double. Running out of some time here to get those 3 more assists.
Yeah, he's
an impressive performance.
Coming off a Conference USA Player of the Week honor and had 25 points against Kennesaw State and leads the conference and made threes. Also 3rd in free throw percentage, so just has been the ace for Sam Houston this year. How about the ball handling and the finish from Brennan Burns, putting on a clinic here.
He's had a good night as well. You start saying about everybody on Sam Houston, just everybody's contributed. It's been an impressive performance from start to finish. Everybody getting involved.
McHenry blocked, and the turnover as Hammonds claims it. And keep in mind for Western Kentucky, this is a team that is arguably missing about 37 points per game due to injury. The steal by Jackson to McHenry. McHenry, happy to see one go through. But you look at Tegan, who a sophomore has not played this season, had 22 points in the final regular season game last year. He was good for about 10 points a game this year. Then Babacar Faye, who was averaging 15 and 8. He's been out since December with a knee injury. And then Julius Thedford, the freshman, who was averaging 13 points a game. That's 37 points a game out right now for Western Kentucky.
And talk about having 17 different starting lineups on the year. That just talks to the injuries that they've had, trying to find a rotation, different guys having to step up. So that's been frustrating for Western Kentucky, having to deal with that all season long.
Still a 15-point advantage for Sam Houston. They led by as many as 25 at the 9:54 mark. 7 to shoot. Boykin just going to take as much time as possible. Boykin stops, runs into the wall that is Keita, and turns it over. Marshall, Western Kentucky's going to have to hurry up. Not too many possessions left in this game here. Edelin tried to dump it off to Keita. He wasn't looking. He went to screen instead of roll. Another empty possession for the Hilltoppers, unfortunately. Wilkerson just dribbling out some time on the shot clock here, and finally a foul on Marshall. And that'll be the 7th team foul against Western Kentucky, and that's the 4th foul on Marshall. So McHenry will come back in, replacing Edelin. And Wilkerson will head to the line. And so for Sam Houston, this is the team that's going to shock the world. build and make a run here in the Conference USA tournament. The offense has been impressive. To me, it's been the defense that might be the story of the game tonight.
Yeah, they came out with a lot of energy. Great game plan defensively, pressuring the basketball, pressuring the ball handler. Western Kentucky had very few good looks in the first half, and that set the tone. That was the momentum from the beginning. Sam Houston's carried that throughout. You talk about it, can this team make a run in the conference tournament? Of course they can, and to do that, you need a playmaker, and they've got that. Lamar Wilkerson is able to go for 20 on any given night. You see he's distributed the basketball, 7 assists here this evening. Other guys have stepped up their game, balanced attack. So those are the ingredients if you're going to make a run in the conference tournament. They've got a lot of them.
Wilkerson with his first double-double of his career after getting his 10th board. Sacco right there, easy finish as Sam Houston putting the finishing touches on what has been a marvelous performance on the road. The Bearcats, winless on the road in conference play this season, will put an emphatic end to that as they are just 68 seconds away from closing this one out.
Chris Mudge has got to be really happy with this group. And you mentioned the team, they were expecting to do more this year. You mentioned they've dealt with their injuries. They've dealt with some setbacks this year. But this was an energetic group at the shoot-around. Lots of energy, lots of talk, lots of activity. Not a team that feels defeated. This is a team that believes that they can play in every game and win every game. And they showed it here tonight. This is an impressive road performance.
And Chris Mudge has seen some greatness. We talked about his time at Texas underneath Rick Barnes, and he was there when Kevin Durant came in. He gave us a great story. He said they do a drill where they see how far away players can start and take only one dribble to get to a lay-in. And they said everybody had kind of gotten to about half court. Durant split the difference between the other three-point line and half court with one dribble and a gallop, threw it down, and he knew at that moment Durant was going to be something special.
And they all walked out of the gym.
Boykin, his 3 off target. And so this will be one of the more emphatic defeats that Western Kentucky will have at home. We said it, it has been since 2019 that they have lost by 15 or more at home. And it's against a Sam Houston team that was winless on the road in conference play. We talked about Don McHenry. Coach Hank Plona was saying it's been a tough year for McHenry because those injuries to that supporting cast that we mentioned that averaged 37 points a game, that took a lot of pressure off McHenry. But now, if you're scouting Western Kentucky, it's easy who you highlight as far as who you have to stop.
Yeah, he thinks McHenry's having to force it a little bit at times, and just he's putting too much pressure on himself, thinking things aren't going well. He has to force the action, try to be the playmaker, try to be the scorer. Efficiency numbers have gone down a little bit this year because of that extra load.
It's about a 1 second differential between shot and game clock. You figure Sam Houston will just dribble this out, but it's Wilkerson with his first ever career double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Every single player that stepped on the floor for Sam Houston had at least 2 field goals. Wilkerson led the way with 5 made field goals. They out-rebound Western Kentucky 45-34 and pick up their first road win in conference play. In impressive fashion, a 16-point dominant victory to make it 3 consecutive wins. And now Sam Houston becomes that team that maybe nobody wants to see in the Conference USA tournament.
Dominating this game from start to finish. Started in the first half, built up a big lead. They never looked back. Defensively, great pressure. Offensively, a balanced attack. And then you've got the playmaker in Wilkerson that you can ride for a big game.
Western Kentucky will drop to 14-12. Sam Houston improves to 4-10 in conference play as they are playing their best basketball when it matters the most right now. Thanks again for joining us from Bowling Green as Sam Houston gets the 78-62 victory. For Sean Harrington, I'm Jordan Kent saying thank you once again, this Conference USA showdown goes to the Bearcats as they hand Western Kentucky one of their biggest losses at home in nearly 6 years. From all of us here at ESPN, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you around the corner of another great weekend of college hoops.